Hey there, everyone. Welcome to YBE's 23rd installment of the Year of the Black Entrepreneur, highlighting some of the best and brightest here in the Triangle for Black entrepreneurs and resources for Black entrepreneurs. I'm so excited to be here with you today as a stand-in for the wonderful Angela. I feel like I'm a guest host on Ellen. I'm just so excited to have some time to talk with you guys and try and fill her big shoes. And so we have a wonderful guest for you today to share more about their experience with Black entrepreneurship and all that they've done to support entrepreneurs in the Triangle. Please welcome Kevin Price.
Well, hello, Amber.
Hello,
Glad to be
Mr.
here.
Thank you for joining us. And let me just start off with sharing with the audience that you are the current president of the National Institute of Minority Economic Development, or as we all affectionately call the organization, the Institute, which has a longstanding history here. Can you maybe start off by telling us a little bit about the Institute, its history, especially with minority economic development for the area?
Sure. The Institute has been in existence since 1986. It was created by Andrea Harris and Lou Myers. And at that time, they were working for the Department of Commerce and recognized that there really wasn't a voice out there speaking to minority business issues. And so they sought to create that voice and fill that void. And the Institute was born as the North Carolina Institute of Minority Economic Development. And so over the this is really our 35th anniversary of being in business. So I'm real excited about that. I'm only the third president in 35 years. So this is an exciting time to be with the Institute and share with your listeners some of what we've been up to and what we do on a regular basis. And so we are basically a advocacy organization that provides technical assistance for minority and women-owned businesses. We have a policy center, so we address issues that adversely impact minority populations. But last year was exciting for us. So even in the midst of COVID-19 and the downturn in the economy, we merged with another nonprofit back in June, and now we have a community development financial institution. So not only can we do the traditional things of advocacy work and technical assistance, but now we even have the ability to provide financial resources to diverse businesses as well.
And that's amazing. So let me take a second to do some of that alphabet acronym soup breakdown to really kind of acknowledge how big this is. So now the Institute has the CDFI, which is a community development financial institution that adds an extra element of resources that the organization is able to obtain, but also make available to business owners in the community. In addition to that, I mean, when we talk about things like being in Durham, based in Durham, with Black Wall Street and the legacy of Andrea Harris, this is a rich legacy to be a part of. Can you share with us how your passion merged with the Institute and what led you to join the organization?
I'm happy to do that. I was when I graduated from high school, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but I decided to join the Army and kind of figure that out and raise some money so that I could go to college. And after I got out of the Army at the first Gulf War, went to UNC Greensboro, and I used to argue a lot in class. So one of my professors said, you should consider being a lawyer. And I said, no, I don't think I have that kind of poker face to do that. So that's probably not best for me. And then a few months later, she said, well, why don't you consider going into community economic development and being an advocate for those who need affordable housing and developing communities? That was interesting to me. So that kind of started the journey. And so after I graduated, I started working for a community development corporation in Greensboro. That's where I met Andrea Harris and Abdul Rashid, who were the founders of the two organizations we merged together. And so I was a young pup sucking it all in at 20 some years old, young family. And over the years and through my career, I kept in touch with both of them. And last year, well, actually, year before last now, uh, I got a call out of the blue saying, we kind of feel responsible for your career. It's time for you to give something back now that you've made all this money and you've grown up in corporate. Give something back to the Institute as the new president. And so here I am.
Wow. And I see we have a shout out to UNCG coming through. So shout out to
Right,
all the
right,
UNCG
right.
alum. I can't give you as big of a hand clap as if you went to NCCU, but I still want to say hey to y'all and make sure y'all feel welcomed to the show. So thank you for sharing more about your history. I completely relate to that story. I'm, as they say, a reformed banker, and so have loved spending most of my career working with CDFIs, community banks, and just the awesome mission work that comes with continuing to give to the community. So, thank you for sharing that. Maybe we could take some time to talk a little bit about some of the challenges being so close to Black entrepreneurship. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're seeing on sort of the front lines and the challenges that Black-owned businesses are facing right now, particularly with the pandemic?
I think there are really three things that I'm seeing now. One is lack of capital, and that
Mm,
was magnified last year by those who were not able to weather the storms of the downturn in the economy combined with COVID-19. And so the Washington Post put out an article around April of last year, and they said we probably lost somewhere around 41% of just Black owned businesses nationwide. And so I've had conversations with um, several leaders in the state office, and we were getting into a conversation about, well, what does that mean in terms of lost businesses in North Carolina? And I said, well, we're probably on parity with that.
mm,
But it's the tale of two states. So while we lost a ton of Black businesses last year, we also saw record increases in the number of businesses, new businesses being created in North Carolina. So it's an interesting uh, position we're in right now of some of the older businesses that have been around for some time. We lost many of them last year because they didn't have the capital to withstand that type of environment last year, but it birthed new businesses at the same time. And then there's this misnomer that, well, everyone was doing badly last year when that's not what our research shows. There were quite a few businesses that did very well last year. There are some serial entrepreneurs that look for opportunity. And there's this old saying that in a crisis comes opportunity. So you can find those little streaks of opportunity in a crisis. And they did, and they made a lot of money last year. The second thing I saw was that there's this lack of access to resources, lack of access to contracts, and where to get business. And so I'm challenged with that of how the Institute can connect more Black owned businesses with those decision makers in supply chain who are purchasing the goods and services that they need, but getting it from a diverse group of suppliers, not just one type of supplier. And then lastly, there's this thing that I'm noticing about lack of connection to key resources.
mm.
And a good example of that is what we experienced with the first round of PPP and how so many Black owned businesses were not able to get PPP funding. And I remember I was having this conversation with several state legislators, and they were saying how horrible that was. And these bankers were not doing the right thing. And I said, no, don't put it all on the banker. There's a
Mhm.
difference between being having a bank account and having a bank relationship.
Yes, yes, yes.
And
Yes.
so if your listeners don't hear me say anything else, please understand there's a clear difference between the two. Having a bank account is not the same thing as having a banking relationship. Your banker, you should know by name and they should know you by name. Not only that, but they should know your business and they should be thinking about your business at night and how can I help you be more successful, because your success is your banker's success.
Hmm.
So if they don't know you and all they know is that you have some money in the bank, you have got to fix that. Go in the bank, and let me just say this: your teller is not your banker.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
know you know that teller that you always go to do your bank drops, and you go in and have a conversation with them from time to time. That is not your banker. That's not the one that's going to have a bank relationship with you. You need someone who knows your business and they know how to connect their products and services to your business so that you can be more successful. So those are the things I think we can work on that I saw as weaknesses last year.
I love the points that you brought up. That lack of capital, connections, and resources, and such a powerful point about the banking relationships, because I think oftentimes we don't consider our bank account as having any leverage,
Now,
and being able to command certain things in customer service. And so I think this is a great point that should be overlooked at all listeners out there. Make sure that whoever you bank with, you have that banking relationship with that business development officer who knows you, knows your business, can really mine their own products to make sure that they're helping you to the full extent that they're capable. And so our time is winding down. I wish we could talk more and all night, kind of drop these gems, because I know you have so many to share with the audience here. But since we kind of have talked about those three primary challenges, can you share a little more about what the Institute is doing to help address these programs, grant opportunities, and things like that that they should be aware of to make sure that they're taking advantage of any opportunities that exist?
absolutely. We have several women's business centers that are a great place to start. We have one in Charlotte, one in Durham, and one in Richmond, Virginia. They provide technical assistance. They connect you with those purchasing managers and corporations who are looking for you. You need that linkage. So I would encourage you to reach out to one of our women's business centers, and you can get to them through our website and other resources as well. If you're on the construction side, we have a small business transportation resource center that connects uh, contractors with those contractors that have won federal contracts, and they're looking for you as well. So those are huge resources. And then we have the CDFI that can provide financial resources. One of the things we didn't cover was Retool and C. And that was a huge success for the state last year. The governor recognized, after listening to me and several others, that there was way too much loan money on the street. We had to have more grant money available to Black owned businesses, minority businesses in general. And so he set aside $12 million dollars as grants, y'all, not loans, to minority businesses that are hub certified through the state hub office or DBE certified. You had to have one or the other in order to have access to these dollars. And between October and December of last year, we gave away $6 million dollars, and another counterpart of ours gave away the other $6 million. Average
Mm-mm.
award was 20,000. Is that right?
$20,000.
$20,000. So that was to save businesses and keep you employed, keep your employees employed, so that you can continue to thrive and grow. We're looking at the second round of that that's coming up in maybe another 30 to 60 days. So if you haven't gotten Hub certified, DBE certified, you got to get that done right away and then start following our website so you'll be ready when we announce that the portal is open for new applications.
That I'm so glad that you touched on that Retool NC grant opportunity that existed. I was on the helping on the front lines with that grant program, and we saw so many businesses that were in dire need of help that were able to get it. And just in case anybody's confused, grant means you don't owe it back. That's money that
Indeed.
helped
Yes,
your business
indeed.
that you don't have to repay. And there were really very limited information that has to come back, just very low maintenance grant money, and you don't see that often. So please get that hub certification, get that DBE, MBE so that you can qualify for the next round. And so I just want to give you, Kevin, a chance to do what I call these Jerry Springer final thoughts. If anybody remembers Jerry Springer. So if you take the next 30 seconds, any final thoughts that you want to share with our audience?
I'll just say one in 30 seconds that I believe, I believe that Black entrepreneurs are some of the best on the planet. I just believe that. And if you don't believe that as an entrepreneur, you're in the wrong space. So if you believe that with me, then the first thing we should be doing is doing business with each other. If we're not doing business with each other, how can we expect someone else to do business with us? So you got to be doing business with other Black entrepreneurs. Let's keep that money recycling within the community. Then we look outward and find other resources. That's what's going to carry us well into the future.
I second that. Well, YBE audience, you heard it directly from Kevin Price, the president of the National Institute of Minority Economic Development. He has shared certainly some gems with us today. We want to thank him for his time and contribution. We'll be here, same bat time, same bat channel tomorrow, highlighting another Black entrepreneur or resources that you can take advantage of. Please, if you haven't already, become a member of YBE. This is just a sampling, an appetizer of the type of information and resources that you get connected to by being a member of YBE. And so I'm going to turn it back over to Angela so we can hear that outro music. I don't know who produced that. It's like a Timberland produced beat or something. I just love listening to it. So Angela, thank you. We invite you to come back and take us to a close. Thank you again so much, Kevin, for being here tonight. We so appreciate what you're doing for all the Black entrepreneurs and minority entrepreneurs across the state and beyond. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Amber.
Wow. I just want to come on really quickly and thank Amber. Phenomenal job as the Ellen stand-in. You might have a career in hosting. And to the man, the president and CEO himself, Mr. Kevin Price, what an honor to have you here with us tonight. Thank you so much for the work that you do. I could not agree with you more when you say that Black entrepreneurs are the best. We just simply need to position ourselves to be able to take advantage of the opportunities that avail themselves to us. As you said, continue to work together collaboratively. And man, I'm grateful because if YBE has not been affirmed before tonight, it was absolutely affirmed tonight. Everything you said is exactly why we are here. So we thank you. I look forward to continuing this conversation, seeing how the YBE community can serve and support the Institute, as well as Davos. And so thank you both so much. And I just want to say to the YBE community, who I know is out there, the chat is lit up. You guys are on fire. Questions and comments are just coming through the feed. We're going to now go over to the YBE Tuesday or the YBE seminar. We're going to introduce to you a platform tonight that can help you do exactly what Mr. Price said, is get yourself in position to be bankable, to be in qualification for the resources, not if, but when they become available to you. Not if or when circumstances change, but when they do, you are in position. So thank you both again so much for being with us tonight. And YBE, we'll see you over in the network. Thank you all so much for being here. And Angela in the background, again, great job. See you all soon.